Hello and welcome to UnJustified, where we always cover the truth, the facts, the good, the bad, the ugly, on an unbiased and sometimes very unpopular opinion. Trent Balti. Is this a claim to fame for Trent Balti? 5 minutes of fame kind of thing? Or is there something more with Trent? Now, I'm not saying that something more would be that he had an actual relationship with Chris, because I don't think so. I do not believe his story. Many people believe that there is a lot of truth to Trent's confession or interview or whatever you want to call it, for the simple fact of the odd things that Nicole had Googled for their date of August the 11th, their last date actually. And she had Googled some very odd things, and they were obviously things sexually encountered and aimed at her and two men. So some people think, maybe Trent was the other guy. Some people think Jim was the other guy. Who knows what was up? Who knows? At the same time, I do not believe Trent. And the reason I do not believe Trent, he got too many things wrong. When he was questioned, he was just wrong. His answers just did not fit anything. They were just too far out there. It was almost like he had kind of memorized things to say, or he was taking things out of what he saw on the news and just kind of trying to put answers together, and I don't believe Trent. That's me. But his interview is very interesting. His mom was also interviewed by CBI, and I will link her interview at the end of this video in case you have not heard it. I really feel really bad for his mom. I'm just saying, I just feel really bad for her. You'll see what I mean if you listen to her interview. And if you've already listened to it, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's so many times I have thought about, I wanted to dig deeper into Trent because there may be some connections somewhere with Trent, because he does seem to know people in the oil business. That is a fact. If you've heard it in the Discovery, you know what I'm talking about, and they know him. He also was involved with rehab. Well, we know that NK called rehab quite, well, I'm not going to say quite often, but there was a few times in her phone logs where she did call a certain rehab center. Do I know it's the same one that Trent was in? I have no idea. I do not know. But anyway, let's just get right into this.
Notorious killer Chris Watts lead a double life as a gay man. 29-year-old Trent Balti claims he met Watts on the dating app Meet Me.
I don't know if he was bisexual or gay.
Balti first came to public attention last August when he spoke anonymously to HLN's Ashley Banfield,
Chris Watts' former lover.
Now he's decided to come forward and let his face be seen. Police took Balti's story seriously and made public this interrogation video.
So we talked about money for sex, how you guys met, the amount of times you guys met. We talked a little bit more about Chris. So I believe you now.
One thing that was written about you is that you're a male escort. Are you a male escort?
No, I am not a male escort.
Balti says he and Watts sometimes got hotel rooms, which Watts paid for. He says Watts also paid for his lip injections.
Did Chris Watts pay for you to have other cosmetic procedures?
He paid for Botox in my forehead and around my eyebrows.
He shared several messages between the two of them. "I miss your face," Watts wrote in this text.
Like on one of his favorite shows?
Yeah.
Balti says Watts admitted he had a family, but gave the impression he was separated from his wife, Shannon. Last February, Balti says he was even introduced to Watts' daughters, Bella and Cece, outside a shopping center in Loveland, Colorado.
Cece just talked up a storm. She was one of the happiest little girls I've ever seen. And Bella was very shy.
What was he like with his own kids?
He was very loving.
Did they seem scared of him?
No, not at all.
How did they seem?
They seemed very comfortable with him. He was very proud of his daughters.
That night, Balti says he found out Watts was still living with Shannon.
He said that Shannon was verbally abused, filed for divorce. He said, I'm just worried that she won't let me see the girls.
Balti says he is haunted by several comments Watts made about his family.
Chris told me it would be ideal if Oregon and take the girls.
He suggested to you that pick others.
Yeah.
Did he ever talk about trying to get his life?
Yeah, Chris spoke of that a lot.
Once, he says he overheard Shannon yelling at Watts on the phone.
Chris said there's got to be some way to get this effing bee out of my life.
That takes on a whole new meaning now, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Trent says he and Watts finally broke up in early May 2018 after 10 months of dating.
Why did your relationship with Chris end?
I just started seeing through Chris's.
Balti says he was shocked to learn that Watts was having a relationship with a coworker, a woman named Nicole Kessinger.
Was you at the same time that he was seeing this woman?
Only for 2 months, so it seems like he got with her right after I ended things in May.
Just 3 days before Watts killed his wife and daughters, Balti says Watts sent him a long text.
Chris said that he was in love with me. He'd never been so comfortable with someone.
When you learned that he was arrested for murdering his wife and children, how did you react?
It was in complete shock. I wish I'd never met him.